welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kelsie. I share beauty, fashion, and lifestyle videos on this YouTube channel, and then I also have a blog. It's kelsiechristine.com. I will link it down in the description bar. But today I wanted to share with you some tips on this short hair and how to curl it. So if you guys saw my last video or a couple videos ago, I chopped off all of my hair. It was super long, and I actually do have extensions too, so you'll see in that video them taking out the extensions, putting them back in, and then cutting them, so you can see the difference in the thickness as well. My hair is pretty fine without the extensions in, so I added the extensions back in to give it more volume and thickness. I did have extensions removed during the beginning of the pandemic, and it was about the same length as this, and I was able to still curl my hair at that point as well. So I kind of learned a few tips and tricks then, but then I had to relearn them when I chopped all the hair off again. So I've tested out all the different ways to curl the short hair, and I have found the best way is going to be with a straightener. I love all the other ways, but I feel like the straightener for me is the best way to get the curl that I want. So I use this straightener here. This is from Hot Tools. I got mine at Ulta. I will link it down below. And then you'll also need a heat protectant. I kind of go back and forth. I use a Chi heat protectant, and then I also use the Moroccan Oil Perfect Defense. I have this one in my beauty room here, which by the way, I just redid a little bit. If you saw on Instagram, it's a little bit of a different background now, and we have new flooring, and I'm so excited, but I'll be sharing a video on that sometime this year. I promise it's coming. We have lots of home renovation videos coming as well. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on those. But anyway, back to the hair, going off on tangents here, but heat protectant is always a must, so make sure you're spraying your hair before you use any Hot Tools. So I'm going to turn this guy on, and this is actually just air dried hair, and then I went through with my little round brush from Revlon. I actually shared a video on using that a couple years ago even, and I love it. I still use it, and I just need to still let it air dry because of the extensions in there. So this is just air dried, not straightened, nothing. You can go through and straighten if your hair does have a little bit of a wave to it. You'll want to have it straight at the ends. It's beeping because it's ready. You'll want to have it straight at the ends for the look that we're achieving today. So I'm just gonna go through and just quickly straighten the ends. And I forgot my heat protectant. Let's spray it now. Anywhere where you'll be applying heat, you'll want to apply the heat protectant. If you tend to forget heat protectant before using Hot Tools, try to find like a leave-in conditioner or something that has like a heat protectant in it. Starting with straight hair here, or semi-straight hair, and then using this tool here. I have a lot of hair, so the first time I curl it, it gets a little crazy because it's not a lot of work, but it's kind of a lot of work, and then I just touch it up for the next, I don't know, 5 or 6 days. So I can usually go a week without washing my hair. But what I'm gonna do is separate my hair in the back, pull it all to the front, and then I like to start in the back and just pull little pieces about this big, if you can see that. Don't go too big or don't grab too much hair, because then it'll end up making the wave or curl look a little weird. But then what you're gonna wanna do is use this tool, go down about halfway and turn it about 180 degrees and slowly pull out, leaving about an inch or two out at the end, and then letting go. I hope you guys can see that. It's leaving like a bend in the hair, just a little bend, and then I throw that backwards and then keep going. So keep working with that same amount of hair, leaving about an inch out, inch or two, and letting it go. Pretty easy. I'm gonna jump into hyperspeed for this until we get a little closer to the front, and then I'll show you a little bit more so you can see it better. So for these smaller, shorter pieces in back, you can just take and just do a quick bend, pull, and just kind of leave the iron on there for just a second, just giving it a little bit of a bend. It's mainly going to hide under your hair anyway, but giving it that little bit of a bend is going to help the bottom of your hair be a little bit more even. It's going to be choppy, but you don't want super long pieces and then way shorter pieces. So the choppy looks in, but not where, see where it will look like this, where it's shorter and then like this long random piece. We don't want that. So if you get to the end and you're seeing those, just go through and just put a little bend in them. Oops. It gets tough with the short pieces because I have a lot of hair right over top of them, and they end up getting like intertwined, but it should work out. And the more you do this, the easier it's gonna get, the more used to it you'll get. I'm looking in my mirror down here, so hopefully it doesn't look really awkward. And remember, under pieces don't matter as much because they're not gonna be seen. Top pieces are gonna be your priority for making sure it's the curl you want. So these top pieces here, you're gonna wanna start where you want your curl to start. Like if you want it higher up, you're gonna have to start higher up. So what I'm gonna do is start probably right about here and then twist it. And you can alternate going, like starting further up and then more down so that it's just a little bit more messy. I like the messy, beachy, wavy look. But for those top layers, I like to start a little closer to the scalp. And then another thing, if you end up curling and bringing it all the way through to the end and you have this big curl at the end rather than the straight chunky pieces, go back through with your straightener and straighten them. So you can just go back and straighten the ends. So you'll need a straightener really to achieve this look. You can still do it with a wand and go through the ends with a straightener if you're more used to using a wand. But you'll still need that straightener to achieve this look. I used to do that all the time where I'd use a wand and then go through and just straighten the ends to give it that choppier look. So I hope you guys can see what I'm doing now that I'm a little closer up. I'm getting these chunks there. And then here it's just the same. Just make sure you're pulling down in front of your face so that it straightens this way and then it doesn't kind of give, my hair has a colic, so like it tends to bend here and I don't want the bend. So that's one side done. And I mean, that didn't take me long at all, even with the extensions. So it's fairly thick hair. I love it. And then you'll want to hairspray it. I actually don't hairspray. I don't know why, I just don't ever hairspray my hair. My hair holds curl pretty well, and I actually like when it's more relaxed, and then I can just touch it up the next day anyway. And I feel like the more product in my hair, the less time I go between shampooing my hair and washing it again. So I can, like I said, I can usually go about a week, but this is one side done. So we're gonna do hyper speed and do the other side. So actually, before hyperspeed, let me show you. So the other side I was doing this. This side I'm doing it this way, just because that's how my hand goes. You can do it this way again. It's just too complicated for me. So I do it with the barrel facing, or the wand facing upwards. But yeah, it ends up giving you the same curl, and I don't mind it. So now we'll jump into hyperspeed. Hopefully with my darker hair you can actually see what's going on. Here's where we're gonna start going a little higher up. I have a lot of baby hairs coming in up here, and since I air dried most of it, they're all sticking up right now. So I might take a hairspray or like some kind of defrizz spray and just do like the top right here and just kind of combat the flyaways. But other than that, I love this hairstyle, and it is winter too, so you know, frizz happens. So some of these curls that you're doing might be like, you might be like, oh my gosh, these are way too curly. So another thing you can do is go through with that straightener. So I'll show you in just a second. So like some of these might be a little too curly for me. Whoop. So see this, the end is too curly for me. So you're just gonna go through and just straighten the end, that's all. Just go through a couple times, and you can always recurl it, leaving the end out, but I love that. Okay, so let me find a spot. Actually, I feel like I did my curls pretty good right now, but right here, this is all like straight, then this huge wave. So this I'm actually gonna go in, pull a little piece, and then just start my curl a little higher. and then it'll curl it just a little differently. But like, let's say this was too big, you just go over it with your straightener just a couple times, and then you can also recurl it if you end up straightening too much. So that didn't take too long. Let's see, my camera, I'm at 15 minutes, I think. Yeah, pretty quick to do. So I do have just a little bit of frizz, which you guys probably can't really see because of my background now, but I can go in with a shine spray and spray that. But I love the choppiness down here. See if like any of them are a little bit longer, you can go through and just do a little bend with them, and that's pretty much it. You can go back through and just straighten the ends if you want. And then I typically don't tease it anymore, but I think I'm going to today. So I'm just gonna take a teasing comb and just tease a little bit at the root, just back home, just a little bit. Well, that made it a little frizzier. I can hear the static. And then if your hair, I have another tip for you. If your hair is shorter, I'm gonna grab my other. This is just like a wider tooth comb rather than the other one. If your hair is, excuse me, not shorter. If your hair is finer or thinner, or doesn't have a whole lot of volume, what you can do is take this and back comb it down at the bend of your curl, and it's gonna give you all the volume. I mean, it's just like the little bit that's gonna give you that extra oomph. And I love it. I love how it turned out. I like this beachiness. Look at this. See, that curl is too much right now for me. So we're gonna go through, smooth it with the straightener just a little bit. See, now it's not crazy. So that's it. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. If you have any other tips that you like with your short hair, leave them down in the comments, because I'm sure anyone that's watching that has short hair will be here for any other tips and suggestions and all of that. So again, hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.